consciousness within the mineral kingdom. Well, modern science would say there isn't any. Well, generally, not all scientists would say that, but on the whole, modern science would say there isn't any. As Theosophists, I think we can try a bit harder than that. Well, the mineral kingdom is divided into three main divisions: gas, liquid and solid. All the constituents of the mineral kingdom are identified as elements in the periodic table, the basic building blocks of the physical world. Now, science is saying, generally, that there's no consciousness within the mineral kingdom, but alchemy would have disagreed with that. Alchemists would have disagreed with that. Modern chemistry is derived from alchemy, and so this idea has been lost, that the observer can influence the outcome of an experiment or the result of a chemical process. That idea is creeping back in a little bit. It's coming back in a little bit. Anyway, let's look at liquid, water. Masaru Emoto has done extensive work on the effect of human emotion on water, and it's quite surprising what he's come up with. He subjected water to well, basically positive emotional atmospheres, people projecting positive thoughts at water, showing water pictures, that sort of thing, putting the water in a positive emotional atmosphere. And also he's done it with negative emotional atmospheres as well. It's very similar to the observer situation in alchemy. And he then freezes the water, and he's found that water exposed to positive emotions forms much nicer crystals than water exposed to negative emotions. So some very interesting work done there, and that does suggest that within the mineral kingdom the emotional principle, kama, is awakened, is being, or if not fully awakened, is being awakened. Now that also ties in with a widespread Hindu belief that the mind in which food is prepared affects both the nutritional and the spiritual quality of the food. Food prepared in a mindful and spiritual way is far more beneficial than food that's just fried up and served out. So that's a tie-in there with traditional Hindu philosophy. Let's move on to solid. Now, it's been believed for a very long time that a physical object can have magical properties, and this is generally the result of its exposure to personal will and belief. Psychometrists can read the history of an object. Now this suggests that objects are responding to situations, atmospheres, things that happen to them, and have a memory. That everything that happens to an object has an effect on it, and it does actually retain something of that. Possibly not memory as we know it, but certainly a form of recording. C.W. Leadbeater, Theosophist C.W. Leadbeater, said that fake religious icons, if they are believed to, or religious icons or artifacts, if they are believed for long enough to be genuine, then they acquire the magical properties and characteristics that they would have if they were genuine. So that with that belief, I think he was probably referring at one point to the spear of destiny. In fact, there are 3 spears of destiny, and it's not proved whether any of them are actually genuine, but belief, and they've acquired magical status, appear to have magical powers. Certainly the one in the Habsburg crown jewels has got quite a reputation. Now, moving on to memory in physical objects, extending it a bit further, it's a long-standing theory that ghosts in a building are the result of walls, or the ability of walls to absorb human stress and emotion. And it certainly makes sense when you think about it. If you go in a building, even if it's not haunted, you very often find that you like the building, that you like the atmosphere, and everybody I know has experienced this. You go and you like it depends on how the building's been used, but it's obviously if people who've lived there have been excellent to each other and lived happy lives, or whatever the building's been used for, maybe been used for a spiritual purpose, you feel that as you walk in. One place where I certainly have felt this is Hereford Cathedral. I could sit there all day and meditate inside Hereford Cathedral. Tremendous place. On the other hand, you can go into a building and you don't want to be there. You just want to get out of the place, and it's got a negative atmosphere, and it's probably a result of what's happened in the building. The building's absorbed it. But again, it's an example, I think, of material objects responding to human emotion and retaining a memory of it. Now, let's move on to gas. There's less to say on gas, but what I can say is some gases are used as anaesthetics, and these induce in the human body a loss of consciousness and an insensibility to pain. So that's quite remarkable, because you're knocked out. You're not asleep. You are knocked out. You're if you were just asleep, then if you were in an operating theatre, the moment you stopped operating, you just wake up again. So it's beyond sleep. It's taking away your ability to respond to pain, and you're just out of it. I mean, I've been under anaesthetic and I cannot remember the pitch. It's not like being asleep. I can't remember dreaming or anything during it was an operation. I can't remember dreaming at all. So it's just a blank period. Also, people under anaesthetic have experienced out-of-body experiences, even if their lives are not in danger. In fact, I know someone who's done this. They saw themselves on the operating table and they were having a hip operation, and their life wasn't at any time in danger. So gas has some gases are extremely toxic, of course, but gas can have some quite remarkable properties. But perhaps more work needs to be done by Theosophists on this.